Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is the first podcast that I've ever recorded. It's probably one of the most unnatural things that we've ever done. I'm not feeling super confident on this one, but I've got all my bros here with me today, and they're all actually going to introduce themselves right now, starting with big man here.
Hello, I'm Jay Roberts. I've known Matt for about 8-9 years.
Hi, I'm Kev. I've known Matt for a year and a half.
Hello, I'm Aaron. I've known Matt since I was born.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tom. I've known Matt for 5 years now.
So the first idea that I had for a podcast was to do something based around mental health, and I wanted to get together with some people who have had the issues and have actually dealt with these situations. We're not professionals in any of these areas, but I will link some help links in the description below, and you'll be able to find some help there. So the first thing that I want to talk about personally is probably, I'd say, depression more than anything, because I mean, me and you both have seen mum struggling with depression for the last 25 years, and Kev, yourself, you've definitely struggled with depression in your past and that kind of stuff. I don't know if any of you want to contribute anything to that. What would you say was mum's worst point?
I don't know really. You're kind of too young to remember.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not really remember much of it?
No?
Really. Have you guys, either of you guys suffered with depression, or know anybody who suffered with it?
I guess we kind of all suffer from low points in our lives where something happens at one point or another and we feel like we can't deal with things. But I wouldn't say that I've actually dealt with depression firsthand, but I kind of guess that through life, we do go through low points.
Yeah, more like depressive moments than actual depressive states.
Like low points in your life where you think, like, how am I going to get out of this, or how can I get through this?
Yeah. What about you, Kev?
Yeah, I've been through some depressing times. Obviously, when your sister died 2.5 years ago, death of my little boy, different things really.
But you managed to come through it all now, and
Yeah, just trying to keep your mind focused and not think about it as much. Obviously, there are some days where you think about it more, Christmas, birthdays, but you've got to try and channel your mind into something else, really. Yeah,
because obviously the people who have passed on won't want you to be dwelling on them or anything like that. They would want you to get on with your life, wouldn't they? So
Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
I've been actually diagnosed with depression and social anxiety for 15 years now.
Is it that long now?
15
Wow.
years.
Wow.
26 since I was 11. So I've been on medication for quite a long time. I'm actually off now, which is really good, as you all know.
Yeah, you're definitely in a better state than you were when we first met. I'd say that, yeah.
I'm a lot better now through the other side, so definitely lots to talk about for that. Yeah.
I'd like to say we were a big contributing factor in that, to be fair.
I think, no, so on that point, I think the people in your lives do help you through points in your life. You've got to have those people around you to, get your mind off things and just kind of
proof with yourself, innit?
Even if it's just a shoulder to cry on or somebody to talk to, or advice.
Yeah.
It's always out there, help's always out there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, sorry, carry on, Tom, obviously.
Yeah, adding on to that, I think the thing that people always say is you have to surround yourself with positive people and all this kind of stuff. Get all the bad stuff out of your life. And for me, I didn't really understand that straight away, but I think meeting you guys and getting that group of people around you really positive, it helps so much, it really does.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree.
So good, yeah.
I guess being with a bunch of weirdos makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, it certainly does.
I think it does.
You couldn't get any weirder than us, to be fair.
When you hear everybody else's problems, it makes you feel better about your own.
Yeah. Look at these whack jobs have to deal with their dealing with. That makes my stuff seem normal.
Yeah. There's no truer saying that a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? So you know somebody else can help you deal with certain burdens and things like that.
100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, what about the anxiety side of it? Is that bigger than the depression side of it, or is it kind of a mix?
Yeah, it's only more recent, really. I mean, as I say, 15 years I've been diagnosed with depression, but anxiety is only really in the last 4 or 5 years, I suppose. And it's horrible, really. I think it's a lot worse than depression, and it's much less talked about. But for me, social anxiety, it's huge.
Things I've seen it firsthand with you as well.
Things like job interviews, you can't do it. It's almost impossible.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah, you've got the same as well, haven't you?
Yeah. You've even got it when you go to a bar in a nightclub.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. You can't go to a bar to get a pint. You can't go to a till.
No.
Even just like the little things,
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else now. What we?
Drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I do this quite often. Hopefully this isn't the end of the podcast. I wanted to go on for a bit longer than this.
Yeah, a bit longer.
Anybody got anything else they want to raise? Jay, you've got a stack of fucking notes unlike anyone else.
I
I mean, I created this, and I mean,
want to roll some facts that I've taken off the Samaritans page from December 2018. There's some facts and figures that...
Jay's like our resident scientist.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, he's got the beard. He's probably got a white
J.
coat. Dr. J. Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah.
More of a wizard because of the beard.
Yeah.
Okay, as I said, these facts and figures were taken off the Samaritans page from December 2018. So, there were 2,000... No, I'll start that again. There were 6,213 suicides in the UK and the Republic of Ireland.
Suicide's obviously like a very touchy subject for a lot of people, but yeah, everyone's got their own views about it as well, as well. So
yeah, it's a tough one because factors in your life will bring you to a point where you feel like you can't cope with it anymore. And
yeah, I mean, look,
And there's only one way out, you know?
yeah, look at Chester Bennington. I mean, everybody thought he was a happy guy, and then,
Yeah.
you know, he dealt with all that stuff in his head.
even Robin
What
Williams
shows
as well,
on
the
Robin
famous
Williams, another
case.
one, yeah. Was that one?
What shows on the surface doesn't show you what's inside.
No.
Yeah, exactly. No one knows what's going on in anyone else's head, do they? So you've just got to try and...
You must be in a dark place to want to do it. Though,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Especially when you've got a family and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But that's what depression does to you, you know.
Yeah.
That's what that's literally the road it takes you down. Sorry, Jay, carry on.
Another stat is in the UK, men remain 3 times as likely to take their own lives than women, and in the Republic of Ireland, 4 times as likely, which is a scary statistic.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like-
It's 3 times as likely as women.
I think as a man, there is a stigma about mental health where you have to put on this front of being strong,
Being a manly
and,
man,
yeah, and you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
show
definitely.
weakness at all. So if someone asks you if there's something wrong, whereas I think women can talk more about it because
Yeah, because it's
And
been
it-
talked about for years, hasn't it?
I think they're more in touch with
Do you think women
their
get
emotions.
more help from men on it? Or?
I probably would have said so.
In a social,
In the current
Yeah.
society, there's probably more out there to help women than men.
Yeah.
Men don't want to come forward.
Yeah, I was just going to say women are more expressive about it than men. Men hold it inside.
Yeah, because it's the whole manly man
Yeah.
situation, isn't it?
More like a macho image sort of
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
You know?
Whereas I share everything with pretty much anyone, personally.
Bit too much at times.
Yeah, they're a little bit too much. Like how you look dead centre of the camera then, bro. Thanks. Too much.
No, I think it's weird. It's like you say, you're different to most people. I think most men as well. But I think what we're going through at the moment is this kind of uprising of men are able to speak out. You know, and I
Actually
think-
talking about the feelings.
and this is what we're going through at the moment. I think it's so good that people are actually aware of it now,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
a lot of people that wouldn't say things now are actually thinking about talking to their friends about it. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of things I've seen on social networking is where people are sharing more things and how they're getting more men to open up about their feelings. Like this man up, I think there was the scheme about just speaking up as a man.
Yeah,
If there's
yeah.
something wrong or there's something going on.
I've always hated the phrase "man up." Like it's one of the worst phrases
Yeah.
I've ever heard. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, to be fair, I've said it to pretty much all of you at some point.
yeah, I think
But
so.
it comes as part of banter as well, doesn't it? That's the thing. And at times when you just you hear it in some context and you take it the wrong way. And it's on.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because the whole man up term as well. We all don't like it now, and but if you go back and you look at the word gay, you know, in school,
Yeah.
everyone threw around the word gay all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and that was
Without
what,
any meaning to it.
10, 20 years ago now. And look where we are now. It's just completely, you know, you're not allowed to use it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll be in 5, 10 years
The
time.
funny thing is, the word gay doesn't even mean gay, like a gay man and that kind of stuff. Like, but it's spoken in like old films and that kind of stuff. It's generally the word happy.
Yeah,
That's actually what it means, isn't it? When
Yeah.
you say you're gay or something like that, it actually meant happy. I never knew that until very recently, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to be naive about that, but
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't know that until recently.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Back to your notes, Dr. J.
Yeah. The highest suicide rate in the UK was for men aged 45 to 49. Now we're all in our mid-20s or late 20s and early 30s, so
You're the youngest here, right?
Mm-hmm.
26,
Yeah.
26,
27.
29.
30.
Mm.
Yeah, so we've all got a few years left before we get there.
But in the Republic of Ireland, it was between men aged 25 to 34, which is almost identical rate for men aged 45 to 54. So that's a bit of a
like our age group, really.
yeah, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
quite scary when you think about it. Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, I know a couple of people from like my own like background and that kind of stuff that have died, and that you know,
Yeah,
I'm sure we all do as
A
well.
few close mates did one
Yeah,
2 years ago. As recent as 8-9 months ago.
yeah,
You know, and they,
yeah.
one was about 37, the other was 24 and 25. You know.
But this is why we're trying to raise more awareness of it, because I mean, I'm not saying that if those people did speak about it, they would have changed their minds about it or anything like that. But at least if they'd have spoken to somebody, the other person may have been able to help them, you know, or anything like that. It's just about taking that first step to talk to someone else who you think is suffering with it.
But one of my close mates who had depression, he obviously committed suicide because he was asking for help, but nobody was willing to help him.
Yeah, and that could have been the whole stigma of being male again.
You know,
couldn't
that was his only way out.
Yeah, that's what they feel like. It's the only way out. Yeah.
Okay, another fact. There's been a significant decrease in male suicide in the UK, and the male suicide rate is the lowest in over 13 years. Oh, sorry, 30 years.
Wow.
So
it's definitely improved. Then I mean, not improved, but I mean,
Yeah, it is.
In the right direction.
yeah, it's going in the right direction. Yeah.
you think that it's to do with these the response to social networking, people being more aware of the stigma of mental health?
Probably men know that there's help available to them now.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
wasn't a few years ago.
I think it's been being in touch with more people now as well with the rise of the internet, everything as well.
Yeah.
There's so much more people you can talk to.
The impact of social media, though, a lot of people consider it a bad thing, but I suppose it's more about how you feel about it as well. I mean, if you've got a negative outlook on Facebook, then you're going to likely be looking for the worst things on Facebook. You're going to be more like, I mean, cookies and stuff on Facebook are always generated to go towards things that you've seen before. So if you've researched depression via Facebook, it's going to come up with more things about depression. Then you start thinking about it more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure on like how the algorithms work behind the cookies and that kind of stuff, but if you've researched something about depression, you're going to see it more on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's going to pop up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about the impact of social media on mental health?
I think it's really good. It's advertising help out there for men and women alike.
Yeah, man. Totally.
Yeah.
You can always like email somebody at like the click of a finger, can't you?
Yeah.
There's always live chats available or something, or able to just message somebody at 3 a.m. if you don't feel too good and that kind of thing. But if you want to actually speak to a person, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Samaritans do that as well. Don't they? There's got like 24-hour helpline and that kind of stuff. The information that Jay's got, I'm actually going to get the link from him after this, and I'll put that in the description below as well, because this actually all seemed like pretty good stuff. We're going to move on from suicide, if that's all right, though. It's a pretty dark subject, that one, isn't it? What are you redacting there, bro?
It's stuff that I've crossed off that I don't think is very relevant.
Cool.
I'm going to roll up this information now is taken off the BBC News Mental Health, and it's entitled 10 Charts on the Scale of the Problem. It's by David Brown and Nick Triggle. This was taken
Pretty cool name.
Yes. Taken from the 30th of September 2017. At any one time, a sixth of the population in England aged between 16 to 24 have a mental health problem, and this is according to the statistics body NHS Digital. So this doesn't include. This obviously includes the broad spectrum of mental problems.
Yeah.
So whether it's family or friends, neighbours or work colleagues, the chances are we all know someone who is affected.
Yeah, isn't it like 1 in 3 or something like that? The mental health
It
issues.
is scary, the statistic. And bearing in mind the figure leaves out less common conditions and is a snapshot in time, you could easily argue it is even more prevalent than that.
Yeah, I would have said so.
It is, just to hit on that, like, I think some of the cases as well sometimes is that we don't know there's a problem. Like,
Yeah.
like we've been dealing with some of the issues in our mind for so long that we just take it as everyday case.
Getting used to it, kind of.
because if we go to the doctor and actually tell them what's going on, some doctors might actually say, look, you've got a problem here, we need to need to address it. But I think some people just don't realise that they do have a condition or a problem.
How does it actually, I mean, you're the only person I know that's been to a doctor's and been diagnosed with anything, but apart from my mum, but I don't really know how it went with her. How does it go when you go in? Do you know there's something, or do you just go in and say, I feel like this, and then they
it's
throw
really,
it at you if you like?
I mean, it's obviously different in different countries, but in this country it's really well handled because they treat it as a chat. You sit down and they've got this notepad in front of you or whatever, and you just talk to them. And I think I was talking to them for 45 minutes, about everything I've gone through in my life and all this kind of thing. And they just make notes or whatever, and they can see that, something's not right.
Yeah. So they probably have like some sort of pattern.
Yeah, sure. And then they can go from there. But it was really nicely handled, I think, for me. Definitely.
Yeah. Would you say it's dealt with well in the NHS in general?
For me, yes. I know I've heard lots of horror stories of other people just being refused, turned away.
Yeah,
all this
yeah,
kind of
definitely.
thing.
Yeah.
But I think
you've heard that yourself.
Yeah. But for me, it was all right, I suppose. But that was me actually going out of my way to get there. A lot of people just stay at home and sit in the corner. Yeah.
For a bit, I was too ashamed to talk about my depression I went through. With being a victim of domestic abuse.
On the flip side of it as well.
I was too ashamed because I was a male. Getting mentally and physically abused by a woman. It's not really the done thing, is it?
This is where the phrase comes back about people. If you told somebody that, they'd be like, "Oh, just man up."
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, "Well, I can't. It's not the type of situation where I can do that."
Or you feel like you'd be the subject of ridicule. It's like, oh, a bit man like you getting mentally and physically abused by a woman. Come on, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow up here,
Yeah, exactly. I've definitely heard people say that as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about just thinking about what you're saying before you say it and that kind of stuff, isn't it now? Like everyone's fighting a battle in their mind that you don't know about. So just be kind and go from that really.
I think another thing to draw from that statistic was it 16 to what was the other?
16 to 64 have a mental health problem.
So the 16, the bottom end is, I think it's something about the NHS. They're not allowed to collect information below the age of 16.
So there's probably a whole lot more.
You're not considered an adult, I'm sure. So for me personally, 11 was when I started feeling all different. But for 5 years, I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to go to the doctors or whatever. You just had to live with it because you're not even on the spectrum at all.
5 years was probably your hardest.
And then
you were a kid. You started high school.
You
didn't know what to do, who to go to for advice or
high school's probably the only time where you can get bullied by members of the same, like other lads, and they get away with it essentially. I mean, they could literally beat the shit out of you. Sorry about the language again. I'm the only one. I said don't swear in this, by the way, and I'm the one who's sworn twice now. They could literally beat you to like within an inch of your life and get away with it completely.
Probably to make themselves feel better because they were probably having a worse upbringing, the same upbringing as you did.
I don't think it's only like the physical side of bullying; it's the mental side of bullying as well. That sometimes when someone picks a weakness, that can hurt more.
Being made to feel like, you're worthless.
I was bullied in school, and because of my weight and the way I looked. And it grinds on you, and sometimes you just don't want to leave the house. You don't want to go to school, and it gets to a point where you either say, right, dust yourself off. I'm just going to get on with it. I'm going to ignore them, or unfortunately, some of the cases where a lot of young people just go into the corner and don't come out, and it's a shame really because
then you have to grow up with that
mental health issue, lasting effect in later life.
It does,
Or meeting new people
to that point where me and you were being bullied in school.
Yeah, definitely.
And I used to make myself physically sick so I didn't have to go to school to stop being bullied.
The whole put the fingers down the throat thing, wasn't it? Yeah. I've actually seen that with my own eyes as well. So, just if there's anybody out there who thinks that bullying is acceptable, just don't. I mean, it's not big, it's not cool. Just don't do it. Simple as that, really.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. What else you got there, Jay?
Well, one of the points is problems. Problems are on the increase. It seems to be getting more common, or at least among those with severe symptoms, while the proportion of people affected does not appear to have risen in the past few years. If you go back to a little further, there's certainly been a steady increase. I mean, to touch on that, I think it's, again, now technology's getting to a point now where we can reach each other at a click of a finger, like through phones, like obviously the internet. It's just
I think the technology side of it is massive. I mean, a lot of people think that technology is the problem, but in my opinion, it's massively the solution. But I mean, obviously that's just one guy's opinion again, but you can definitely reach more people now than ever before to find help.
I think, I said about surrounding yourself with positive people before.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually have to be in person as well. Like, you guys have been great to me. But growing up, on the internet, you could go onto these social media sites, and I was talking to people in Australia, America, all these all over the world.
As long as you're careful with it as well. I mean, even when you're at a young age, if you are careful with it, you do see these cases of people getting groomed and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't happen every day. You've just got to make sure that you're on safe websites, safe links, and you're not going down the path of someone who is going to do that kind of stuff.
Meeting somebody you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ever go meet anybody that you've never met before. Not without consulting someone else.
No, it's just, it doesn't have to be the people around you. You can be online. A lot of the conversations I've had with people across the world about the deepest things in my life, and it's been fantastic because you don't have to go and see them every day. So you can just spell out whatever you want to see.
Do you find it better talking to people you don't know?
I think I think so.
You can cover subjects sometimes that you wouldn't bring up in front of your friends, and then once you've gotten more comfortable with them as well, you can then bring them up in front of your friends and that kind of stuff. Like, I would always share things on Facebook and that kind of stuff, and then if I think it's got some sort of good reception, I'd pass it on to my friends and that kind of stuff. Like, and I think that kind of learning, it helps your mind in a massive way.
Yeah. There's a level of embarrassment as well, I think, with people that you're close with. Yeah. You don't want to tell certain things to you because you're going to be embarrassed, but you can tell a stranger because they're never going to
they're not going to
see
judge
you, are they?
They're not going to judge you.
So. Yeah.
Judgment is something that's huge these days, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Sorry, Dr. J. I honestly, he's not bringing out a set of headphones or anything. You're not going to get some Dr. J's on the black market.
Dr. J's.
Evidence from the NHS digital study in England shows the rise has been driven by an increase in women with illness. It goes on to say, why is this? Undoubtedly, some of it's down to people being more willing to admit to mental health problems. Which
it goes back to what we said before about men not coming out about it. Yeah. But that also links back to my last video about OCD. It said that women are more prevalent when you have OCD issues as well. They've actually come forward and admitted them and been diagnosed with it. And personally, the only person I know with any form of OCD would be my dad. But, I mean, that I wouldn't even say that was proper OCD. Maybe obsessive compulsive, but not the full-on disorder. Yeah. But I think that's just like the tins in the cupboard situation, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, Jake. Carry on again.
It goes on to say, experts point to the way self-harm in particular has recognised in a way it was not 20 or 30 years ago. So So basically, people now trying to deal with their problems with the self-harm, and I've never been exposed to anyone who has self-harmed personally. I don't know if you guys have ever known anyone to.
I definitely have.
Yeah,
I think we're all about the same person actually. Yeah. I'm not going to say names or anything like that because it's not something that I wouldn't talk about. But I know I've dealt with friends who have been through that situation before, and I've done the best I could to help at the time, and I'm sure you did too.
Yeah. Admittedly, I've self-harmed.
Yeah.
On many of occasions, because it feels like your only way out feels like you're
it's a release, isn't it? Yeah.
And it feels like nobody or nothing can bother you or hurt you anymore.
Yeah. How would you say you got through that though? Because obviously you don't do it now or anything like that.
Good question.
Clearly you get tattoos. I mean, that's a form of self-harm, but
yeah, but the tattoos represent something.
Yeah, they've got meaning, haven't they?
How have I got over it? Well, trying to think positive, really.
Yeah.
Spending time with Becky and the kids.
Definitely had a massive impact.
Yeah, or working, or hanging with you guys, or going to the gym.
Going to the gym is definitely a good one for stress relief, I would say. Personally, I found it in the past few weeks.
Yeah, because you can take your anger and your hatred, or
not
so much hatred, but whatever you're feeling inside you.
Frustration.
Whatever problems you got inside you can take it out in the gym, whether it's on the punch bag, the weights, cardio, or just somebody to talk to.
Yeah. And at least by the end of that as well, you're also getting some sort of health benefit from going to the gym as well,
Yeah. To touch on that, I think, personally, a few weeks ago I was dealing with some stuff, and I couldn't sleep, So I decided to get up and go for a jog, some training to do the Great Manchester Run. So to deal with it physically, I think helps in the mental side of it as well, because after it I felt better because I'd kind of taken that negative energy and turned it into positive.
Yeah, was it you that were saying about physical health helps with mental health as well? If you're physically fit, you get better with mental health as well.
It's scientific, yeah.
Yeah.
Physical fitness releases endorphins, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
it's
a
a natural
confidence thing as well, I suppose.
Oh,
'Cause if you feel good in yourself, outside you're going to feel good yourself inside.
100%, yeah.
And if people make a comment to you, wow, you're looking well, it's going to give you
Yeah.
a little bit of confidence and a bit of encouragement.
Yeah.
tiny things,
You know?
isn't it?
Which is definitely, compliments is something that everybody should do more of, in my opinion. I mean, I try to compliment you guys as much as I can, and that's, well, it's clearly had an effect on all of you, I would say, personally. You all look great to me, by the way, just to put that out there. Just gonna,
You know, like Matt with your weight loss, you know, in the gym, you know, I've said to you, I can see you losing weight all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's what keeps me coming back, man, you know.
in the gym you're feeling confident, you're getting stronger. People in the gym are noticing you as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I bet now you feel better now than you did, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, 100%.
Or even
yeah.
6 months ago, whatever.
Well, looking back in November, I stepped on the scales over there and I was 22 stone, you know.
Yeah.
I think I'm 20 stone 3 now. 20 stone 3 pounds.
So you could tell in this video your self-confidence has gone way up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they didn't see me right before this video.
Yeah, true. he was shaking a lot.
But my confidence from my first video to this has definitely gone up.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Since November I've lost over 2.5 stone, and
Well done, bro.
yeah, from November to now, definitely my feeling overall is
I did kind of force Jay into doing the Great Manchester Run.
he did, but
No one wanted to do it with me, and I just kind of tricked him, and he thought it was going to be really hard, and I just told him he's a pussy and he used to do it.
But before that I'd never run before, and now I'm doing like I did 10k the other day and I felt fantastic. So yeah, definitely setting yourself personal goals.
What was your time, bro? What was your time?
1 hour 8 minutes. So you know, it's not. I'm not an athlete by any stretch of the imagination. But you know, if I can somehow
You should be proud of
achieve,
yourself, though.
I'm feeling great. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Achievements, isn't it?
As a comparison, Jay, I was an athlete and I did the 10k in 1 hour 1 minute.
So only
So you're
7
7
minutes behind you.
minutes
So
I said this to him earlier, and I was like, yeah, but 7 minutes in sport is huge.
Well, yeah, it's a long way.
To
but-
shave time off anything like that is
Yeah.
so hard.
don't take my thunder.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for even more comparison, I run it in about an hour and a half.
But I mean, for a guy your size
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
Run it in the first place is still a major achievement.
Yep.
Something you should be proud of.
I mean, last year I ran it on a twisted ankle, but you know,
You did.
it was fucking that hurt. Oh my god, I swore again. I'm so bad at
3
this.
times now. 3 times.
We should have a swear jar for
We
this
should
going
have a swear
forward.
jar,
We
yeah.
really should. And whatever money I make, I'll just donate to charity.
Yeah. That's it.
I think that's a good idea going forward. We'll just have an awkward silent moment.
Yeah.
I'll scroll off another statistic for you. It is also clear 21st century life has taken its toll on some people. Economic uncertainty, social media, the influence of media, and rising expectations of what life should be like, all have been suggested to be possible issues. This is stuff that we've already discussed, and I completely agree.
See, I'd probably go down the line of when people see Instagram and that kind of stuff these days. It's I genuinely think I've heard this somewhere on another podcast, but it was saying that Instagram is a filtered view of life.
Oh.
You only see people posting positive things on Instagram, and I don't get me wrong, I love Instagram for that, but it's not that person's real life, is it? You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
no.
When,
100%.
as much as I do love social media personally, you can't have this filtered life and then as soon as it comes off screen. But I suppose it's just like after saying behind closed doors and that kind of stuff, isn't it?
Same,
You don't know what's
with
going on.
Facebook, really, like for a rating. Don't put any negative comments on there. Always
Yeah.
put a comment positive, because you don't know what that person's going through.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know, behind closed doors.
yeah. I see young kids doing it a lot these days with Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, putting pictures up just to get likes and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and that massively impacts mental health.
And the negative comments could affect them in later
Yeah,
life.
hugely. I'd never personally post a negative comment on a posted picture of anybody, to be honest.
Or, you know, making fun of somebody walking down the street because they don't look
Yeah.
the same. Or
They don't look like what culture
Yeah.
deems good to look like.
You know, because you don't know what they're going through at home or their childhood.
Yeah,
or, you
yeah.
know.
Carry on. Sorry.
It goes on to say that women are now more likely to be affected. Women are now more likely to have common mental illness. Only 1 in 5 report they have, compared with 1 in 8 men in England. If you include only those with severe symptoms, the difference is less acute but still apparent. So obviously, even though said before, men are more likely, it's on this it's saying that women are more likely to be affected. So
Was that 2017? Was that?
2017, yeah. So
And the men was 2018.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think more studies are they're like from just based on the numbers there. More studies are being done on men more recently than women.
Just because it's a trend at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Like you were saying about the charity that you wanted to run. Who are you running for against Cancer Research?
it's
isn't
Cancer
it?
Research UK.
Yeah.
I originally wanted to run for
A male mental health charity, wasn't it? But there's no specifically male mental health charities out there.
I looked at that when I
Yeah,
did
you
my
did,
run,
didn't you?
wasn't it? Yeah.
Who did you run for? I thought was it?
I ran for Alzheimer's.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
But
Yeah.
because there wasn't a male mental health charity out there. Yeah.
But we did. That's why I thought when you said about it, I remembered that there wasn't one, and I think it must have been out doing research with you then.
It's weird. I was watching this strange celebrity catchphrase, and the comedian, I think Rob Beckett is his name.
Yeah.
And he was raising money for a men's mental health charity. So I thought to myself,
Did he just say a men's mental health charity? Didn't say the name of it though.
he must have, but I didn't catch it because I wasn't really paying that much attention. But yeah, that's what kind of got me the idea to try and do it for the men's mental health charity. But
It's funny how like on TV you see these days like more like mental health charities and that kind of thing, and even like most any charity is usually based around comedy.
Yeah.
Like obviously, like a lot of comedians have social anxiety and depression. Look at Robin Williams and that kind of, in that
Probably
situation
something
that
that
he
people
was.
can relate to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the anxiety one, I was watching one the other day, and she was saying that you'd think with anxiety I wouldn't be able to get up on the stage, but it's actually the place where she felt the most comfortable.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the lights pointed at her, she can't see anyone in that room.
Yeah.
So she's just literally reeling off the lines, and she's one of the best comedians I've ever seen,
Probably
to be honest.
pretend that nobody's there.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're able to do that, I think that's great.
Blocking everybody out, innit?
Or just picturing them naked.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that, yeah.
That works.
So that's something you do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you picture all of us naked at times?
sometimes.
You picturing us naked right now?
No.
Oh.
Just me then, yeah?
Just you.
obviously,
So what do you do if you're feeling a bit rubbish and down on a day? What's your best thing for getting through something?
Like, kind of like shut myself off from everyone, really. So it's not a very good coping mechanism. But I express myself through drawing.
His drawings are phenomenal,
My-
guys.
yeah,
I'll link his
out.
pages below.
yeah, they're great.
Through my art. I just draw anything, really.
What was your most recent one?
My most recent one was The Singer Pink, which got
I thought it was
good,
brilliant as
I
well.
like that
got
one.
good
Yeah.
feedback
Yeah.
on
Oh,
social
absolutely,
media
yeah.
on it.
Definitely
Yeah,
one of your
yeah.
best.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you're basically saying that it's art therapy is what
Yeah,
it's what it's
yeah.
called, and for me as well, it's huge. Like I'm a photographer,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you just drive out and you go take some pictures and you just forget the world.
But look
Yeah.
at like the social anxiety side for yourself. Like when we were in Lot 11 shooting that advert last week or the week before,
Oh, yeah,
I never would have said that you had anxiety.
Yeah.
But it's the person you're with and what you're
Yeah.
doing, and you forget about everything that's around you.
You've got
Don't
a
you?
persona, don't you?
Yeah.
Doing what you love.
Doing what you love, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And the other side of things as well is you use ASMR as well, don't you, to cope with certain things
Oh,
as well.
fantastic.
And
Yeah.
ASMR, and I've tried. I
Yeah.
can't say I like it. I don't know. Do you know what ASMR is?
I have no idea what
ASMR is basically somebody getting a really high quality microphone and doing like certain wood
yes,
scraping,
the chewing thing.
Yeah,
whispering
yeah.
into a microphone. Have you heard of it as well?
No.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
my-
basically it gives people like goosebumps and stuff.
Yeah, it gives you
It's the
tingles
same
and
feelings
all
I
that,
get
yeah.
from music, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
Can our
yeah,
next podcast be ASMR?
I would go through ASMR in a heartbeat. I think it's pretty cool.
I think the main thing they do it for is sleep. It's a lot of people that struggle to get to sleep at night.
Yeah, Shannon listens to
Insomnia and all
it.
this kind of stuff. Me as well.
Yeah.
And
It's like white noise.
I suppose
Oh,
essentially it's like the
yeah.
80s. The 80s was like white noise and that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it just
Yeah.
relaxes you into such a state where you just fall asleep basically.
Yeah.
It's really helpful, I suppose. Yeah.
We should definitely cover ASMR next time we do this.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I'll
depression
look
song.
into it because it's something that I know very little about, and I'd like to know more about it.
Yeah.
What was your main cause of depression, if you don't mind me asking?
But do you even know a main cause?
Or was it just a list thing?
Yeah, I mean, you said similar to you had domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Mine was sort of the same, but it wasn't. I don't know if you could call it domestic because it wasn't at home, but it was a sort of abuse, really.
Yeah.
That, you know, I was a young guy, you know,
Yeah.
10, 11 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
And at that age, you just haven't got a clue. You just kind of
Yeah.
go along with it and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, it's really sad to think about. But at that age, you haven't really got any defences, have you? So.
And you don't know where to go for help or anything like that.
Yeah.
You don't know whether anybody's going to believe you.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the massive side
That's
of
a
it, which I
huge
suppose is what happened with
Yeah.
all of the things that are coming up about the 80s now and all the presenters and that in
Oh,
the 80s.
exactly. This is
Yeah.
it.
People were too scared to come forward
Too
and
scared to come out.
like you see a lot of people say, "Oh, if I was in that situation, I would have just told someone." It's really
It's
not that
different,
simple. It's really not that
Who can
simple,
you
is
go
it?
to?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you
Who
know,
do you go
I
to?
mean, I don't
If
know
you went
about
to the police or anything like that, they just laugh at you.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Kev. I couldn't even tell my own mum. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's the immediate. You can't even tell them. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
'cause when I went through my domestic abuse, I moved away. I
Oh, right.
didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And at first,
Where were you living then?
I was living in Runcorn, mate, at the time.
Runcorn, yeah, you were telling me
and
actually.
living up there, like I said, I didn't know anybody. I was trying to get a job. I was just trying to focus on a better life. And it starts off slow, you know, this like little name calling or stuff like that, making you feel worthless, and then it goes to getting stabbed or hit, or even glass shavings in your food.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he said about this as well, like just grinded it up on it.
Yeah, you know, and stuff like that. People don't even know that now.
No.
Yeah.
I went to the police and they were like, "What do you want us to do about
Yeah.
it?"
What can you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your proof?
And the minute she come at me with a broken bottle and I put my hand out to defend myself, I got done for.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
If,
And that's the twisted view of justice these days.
yeah,
isn't it?
because I think that's where my depression started, you know what I mean? When I was asking them for help,
Mm.
they weren't helping. Like I said with my mate, you know, he was crying out for help,
Yeah.
nobody
yeah,
helped
nothing
him.
there, yeah. Well, that goes. You think about Sheldon, Dad's friend.
Yeah.
He was an alcoholic, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he was looking for a house, and they gave him a flat above a pub.
Yeah.
The local council gave him a house above a pub. Yeah, he was a recovering alcoholic. You don't do that.
There's no flow in there, is there? Yeah.
You know.
It's a shame.
But it goes back to them not even thinking before they do something, doesn't it? So.
Yeah.
Anything else on there, Jane?
Oh, I've got lots of stuff for you. It goes on to say young people are particularly susceptible. A number of theories have been put forward for this. The economic uncertainty of the past decade has particularly affected the young, making it harder to get on the career ladder.
Yeah.
I'd say that as well.
I can relate to that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm alright with interviews and that kind of stuff, but I know that you both like struggle with interviews, don't you? So
Yeah. We're not exactly great, are we?
We
Let's
do.
be honest.
Well, I just get an interview, get ready for said interview, stand outside the place of work,
Yeah.
and talk myself into not going.
I can
how
relate
does,
to
how does
that.
that process go in your head though?
It's like it's hard to explain, really.
Is it
Trust me, man,
the,
you're in a safe space. You know?
is it the fear of rejection? Like you go in there and you put yourself forward, and
They just go,
for
"No."
some reason or other,
Yeah.
they'll just think to themselves, "No, this isn't the guy."
You know, it's like you're begging them to give
Yeah.
you a chance.
It's
and
like
somebody better comes along.
in my
Yeah,
head,
but-
I want people to like me, but
yeah.
I'm scared of going in there in case they don't like me,
Yeah.
Yeah, I relate to that.
Yeah. and it's just hard to get over that hurdle.
Do you think that's why you make people laugh so they like you? Or,
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I think humour is definitely a defence mechanism. Like for me personally, if I'm feeling low or if I'm not having a particularly good day, like I'll watch something funny. Like I'll watch like a stand-up show like Rick Gervais or Jimmy Carr or something like that, just to make myself laugh, just so I feel better. So it's like that, the endorphins you give off when you laugh, it gives you a good feeling. Right? I think humour is definitely one of the biggest defence mechanisms a person can have if they're suffering from any kind of mental illness.
I just had a really worrying thought. I'm pretty sure that the two phones that are recording us right now only record in UHD for 10 minutes, and we've been recording for roughly nearly 40. So pretty sure both of those phones have stopped recording, and at this point I'm probably going to have to put some sort of imagery up to cover the rest of this podcast.
Should we have a hard time break?
They both stopped recording, haven't they?
Well, then the screen, yeah.
No! So basically we've been all like, yes, like putting on our best. Oh, that's fantastic.
We'll put some B-roll over the
Yeah,
top.
it's going to have to be B-roll, isn't it? Yeah.
B-roll.
It's still a podcast.
Oh,
it's
my
just
days.
not a video
It's just
podcast.
an audio podcast. That makes me feel less self-conscious because I can just kind of let my belly hang out.
I mean, I will definitely put up the first 10 minutes of the video, and then the rest of it I'll have to do something with B-roll. Oh my
There's an
days.
episode of The Simpsons where it kind of cuts off and there's like a guy in a straight jacket saying technical difficulties, or just put that as the image.
Yeah.
We'll be back after these messages.
Right, we'll bring it to a close there. Thanks very much for watching and listening, because at this point you're just listening. I will definitely be doing another one of these podcasts. I felt really comfortable doing all this. I mean, I can see you guys have definitely enjoyed it, so definitely.
If there's any closing remarks any of us want to make, I think just a bit of advice for anybody listening, or a bit of a tagline. I think now would be probably a good time.
If anyone's struggling, reach out for help.
Yeah, 100%.
It's always
always out there, isn't it?
Yeah. I think for me, just speak to people. Anybody, absolutely anybody.
Yeah.
If you know them, if you don't know them, if they're across the world, if they're not, just speak to them.
Or even a phone call or just a text message. Hi, how are you feeling?
Yeah, anything.
Are you okay?
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's the poignant question. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, "How are you doing?" It's like fine, but if you ask someone, "Are you okay?" They've got to dig. It's just be kind to people. I'd say. You don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
You have no people put on a front, so just be kind to people. Just be pleasant, even if you're in work or if you're out with be kind to people, and or treat others as you'd want to be treated.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks very much for listening, guys. I'm going to click my fingers in my standard sign-off. I'm even looking at the camera right now for some reason. Don't even know why. But yeah, I'll finish off with my standard sign-off. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you next week.